our family think it's very weird that I grew up Southern Baptist and this is where we landed.
I'm Joshua Phillips.
And I'm Julie Phillips. We just really desired something that made us feel like we were connected and not kind of free-falling with the modernity of worship and how it shifts underneath you. And so we wanted something that we felt wasn't going to shift underneath us or shift underneath our children.
I guess I grew up really, in some sense, really unchurched, so I didn't, even though I grew up in the South. As a result, I guess when I was in my teenage years, I pretty much thought about I was neo-pagan, sort of took on sort of other, I guess you could say spiritualist kinds of things that you could think about. But when I was in college, I guess I was 19, basically just had a vision where God sort of convinced me of his holiness and my sinfulness.
Wow.
And basically with that just led me to try to seek out where the truth really was. And as I read the Bible more and more, it started making sense to me after that, that Jesus was really the truth and the light. And so since then, I was baptized in the Presbyterian church after that. We were very, very much drawn to traditional and liturgical forms of worship and a more orthodox view of the faith, and we kind of have been finding that at St. Patrick's more.
I am your average Southern girl. I grew up in a Southern Baptist church. I went every day the door was open. My mom was a Sunday school teacher. We went to every VBS. When I was in high school, we ended up changing churches, which was kind of a big part of, I guess in a lot of ways, my faith journey, because at that time I no longer really wanted to be part of a church at all. And then I went to college and I didn't go to church. I had no desire. And then I met Josh. And together we were kind of, I guess, rediscovering discovering our own faith for the first time, really, in a lot of ways.
Well, we were introduced to St. Patrick's by two friends of ours, so they were Charlie and Sarah Clark. So we had met them while we were going to our previous church, and they had mentioned St. Patrick's to us. It wasn't really very much of a question for us, to be honest, after we visited. I don't know, we just felt like, we were finding more of the core idea about what the community was supposed to look like, and it ties back to the ancient forms of the faith, and that really, it struck us that, to really sort of bring back the reverence for what the faith used to be, to not sake of what's just happened in the last 10 years or 50 years, but what's been going on for 2,000 years, and some of the things that we do being really rooted and grounded in how the faith was when it was originally established.
It sounds silly to say it, but I actually like the whole part of me being removed from it. I feel like when you go to a lot of services, it's a lot about your worship and me, and all the worship songs are really focused on how I feel about what God has done. And it lacks a sense of reverence for the truth, which is that I should be in so much awe that I don't even pay attention to my own thoughts or feelings. Like I should want to focus so much on Christ that I don't really think about myself in the process. And I just feel like most churches want to kind of promote this individualism, that you are very individual and your relationship with God is very individual, when it's really not. God builds a relationship with us as individuals, but he also really roots himself with his people. And so I kind of actually love the fact that there's not a whole lot of me in that service. It's what God does. It's not what I do. It's not what I bring when I walk in the door. It's what he's willing to give me when I'm here. And I just don't think that many other places offer that kind of worship.
The favorite aspect of St. Patrick's to me is just the feeling of how rooted it is to really the ancient liturgy of Christianity, and what I mean, the Orthodox faith, just the beliefs that have been carried down through since the very beginning of Christianity. I mean, I don't. There's such a richness to the tradition that I've become familiar with by being here that I wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise.
would say jump in and come, because he's really going to meet you here. And it's not, you won't miss what I call the coffee house Christianity. You won't long for your coffee during service because your heart will be so full.
When you first come, you know, some of the things that are done, if you're, you know, they'll seem strange because they come from times and places that are not familiar to us. They're, you know, but they're a part of the faith that's been kept because of how edifying it is. Just letting it wash over you, and really giving it the opportunity just to let it sink in. You know, don't worry about doing it so much. Just let it sink in, and then a little bit at a time it can come, and everything will probably settle in.